My name's Keira. I'm 13 years old and I'm in year 7.
And my name's Janelle and I'm Keira's mum. When Keira was born, she did not have cerebral palsy. She was born in a fairly uneventful birth. At 7 months of age, she acquired a serious life-threatening head injury. As a result of that injury, they needed to perform emergency surgery and open up her skull to be able to relieve some pressure. And at that time, the feedback we received from the surgeon was not good. We didn't expect her to actually survive that operation. But at that point, it was like just taking really 1 hour at a time, and the prognosis long-term was not looking good. So we were just going from day to day. We didn't expect that she was going to survive the night. She was put on life support and put into an induced coma, and she was in that way for a week, and she was, barely holding on to life. Sorry. I'll just compose myself. So Keira was in an induced coma for a week, and after that week, the doctors and nurses decided to take her off the life support to see if she was able to breathe on her own, and miraculously she did. And I remember the nurses saying to us in the hospital that that very fight that she's showing as a 7-month-old will hold her in good stead as she gets older, and that's definitely part of Keira's personality, in that she is very determined. She doesn't give up, she fights, and I think that we see that through her athletics as well. So from a girl who wasn't expected to live, who wasn't expected to have any quality of life if she did live, or walk or talk, or just the normal milestones that we all go through, she's now a 13-year-old girl who's thriving, who's fit, who's active, who's loving life, who's loving school and her friends, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
I'm just really grateful that I was able to survive and I'm still here today, and I'm able to walk and talk unlike some others, and I'm just really happy.
Let's try again. That wasn't so good.
She's come a long way since she was a young child. Because her cerebral palsy is quite mild, she can mask it quite well, and often teachers and her friends don't realise, which Keira is quite happy about, but then there are things that she can find tricky that involve more fine motor skills that people don't pick up on.
It's hard to do things like in PE at school. It's hard to do some of the tasks because it involves coordination and balancing, and I can't really do that well, unlike the other kids. So it makes it more obvious that I have a disability. People ask me about it and I don't really like talking about it.
Keira's a little bit reluctant to ask for help because she doesn't want to draw attention to herself in that way, but she's found lots of ways that she can overcome her difficulties, and she's determined, so we expect that she's going to just keep going from strength to strength.
Variety Scholarship has helped me with mainly sprinting in athletics, so I do the 100 metre, the 200 metre, and I also do the long jump.
So we've known that Keira has talent in running and long jump. We realised that early on in her schooling, that although she has a disability, she's always been able to match it with her peers. But obviously with talent comes financial restrictions for us. I've had to go back to work as a part-time educator. I used to work full-time, but so that Keira could get the therapies that she's needed, I've chosen to take a financial cut, which then therefore has meant I'm not able to pay for a lot of coaching and the other things that come with competing at a higher level, like the uniforms and the travel. So without variety, I really don't think we would be able to find or perhaps even Keira reaching her maximum potential, because it would really come down to financial issues. I'm a single mum, and Keira's my only child, and obviously having to pay for daily expenses like bills and school fees and clothing and food and normal expenses, it was really, we find it really difficult. Yeah, and athletics has now become a lot more expensive for us now that Keira's getting training twice a week and also being selected in national teams, which means that we need to be able to pay for plane flights, uniforms, accommodation. Variety helped greatly in giving Keira a scholarship to be able to afford the travel involved in athletics, the registration fees and the coaching. So it's made a huge difference in taking a lot of stress off myself.
It's helping me because I get more time to train, which means I can improve more and get better, and I feel like I'm more confident at how I'm going because I'm getting better each time. And Variety's helped by giving the money, of course, and that's helped me have more training, which makes me get better and better.
And I've also noticed that socially it's been a great thing for Keira to do little athletics. In the 3 years that she's been doing it, she's made a lot of friends that are outside of school, which I think is important also to have that social network. And I've definitely noticed her confidence has grown. She really enjoys that time with her friends. So it's not just about exercise, it's also definitely social benefits and the confidence that she's gained.
I've been to Melbourne and Darwin, and I've competed there for South Australia, and I have won a few medals and broken records, so that's good. Well, for the end of this year, I want to be able to run about 31 or 30 seconds for the 200, about 14 seconds for the 100, and jump nearly 5 meters. And in the long term, I want to be able to make it to the Paralympics.
Applying for the Variety Scholarship has made a big difference in our lives in terms of Keira being able to pursue her dreams of athletics. So I would definitely encourage people who are thinking about perhaps applying to go ahead and do so. It's meant that she's been able to have a lot more training than we would have been able to afford ourselves. And obviously in the long term, that's only going to help her to achieve her dreams. So yeah, if you're sitting on the fence and wondering whether you should apply for a scholarship, my advice would be go for it.
I would like to say thank you to Variety for really helping me to be able to have more opportunities in my sport, because it's helped me a lot, and I want to keep doing this because it really does help, and it will help me in the long term and possibly be able to help achieve my dreams when I'm older.
Thank you, Variety. We really appreciate the support through the scholarship that Keira's received. Thank you to all those people that donate to Variety. It's very much appreciated by us, and we are sincerely grateful. Thank you, Variety.
Thank
you for your support.